Welcome to another news segment. It's been a while since we've done it, but we feel like we need to because there's some topics we really need to discuss.
A lot of things have been happening in the last couple of weeks.
A lot of things. First and foremost, referral program is dead. We're going to talk about supercharging rates because those are kind of going all over the place. The 75D gone from Model S and X. Never coming back, maybe. And the layoff that Tesla has had.
Yeah.
But let's jump right into it. The referral program. Can we get a moment of silence for that? So Elon tweeted recently that they are canceling it, and it's adding too much to the cost of the cars, especially the Model 3, which is honestly not surprising.
Yeah, we kind of saw this coming back when they enabled it for the Model 3 in like October of last year. We were like, how is that possible? It's not sustainable.
Not sustainable.
I could see it with the performance Model 3, but when they opened it up to the regular long-range Model 3 and then the mid-range Model 3, the writing was on the wall that they weren't going to be able to sustain that referral program much longer.
Yeah, and even Ben, he did a video on it and talked about the sustainability, and I think hit it right on the head. It's unfortunately not with the margins they are. Every referral could potentially be $5,000 off a future product. So it definitely adds up. I definitely don't think it was the Roadsters that killed the program, though. But I think the big thing might have been the supercharging. Because we have all these Model 3s, most of which now have 6 months of supercharging.
Or
that
9.
adds
Some
up.
of them are even getting 9 months.
Yep, that adds up. But we also did see some abuse of the system. Quite a lot, actually. And people even emailed us and asked if they could advertise on our videos their referral code. But people were taking out Google AdWords. People were putting ads on eBay. People were putting ads all over the place.
Which was totally against the rules, and Tesla kept changing the rules throughout the referral program, and people still just kept finding ways of taking advantage of the system and getting around the rules. So that kind of shows why they had to cancel it.
It is going away as of February 1st. Thank you to everybody who has helped us and used our code so much. So thankful for you guys. But if you are looking to buy a Tesla, this might be the last video you hear this in. Yep. Feel free to use our referral code. It's down in the description below. You'll get 6 or 9 months of free supercharging. But yeah, so it was a program that went from 2015 to RIP in 2019.
Yeah, it was a good run.
It was a good one.
One thing that happened last week was Tesla made an announcement that the supercharger rates were going up.
Yeah.
Actually, worldwide. They had some major increases, which was kind of a surprise because they had just increased them a few months ago in 2018.
So yeah, this increase actually ended up being an average of 20 to 40%. Some locations, though, experienced like almost 100% increase. Kind of crazy. Soon after that, I think it was like 4 or 5 days after they announced it, they did come back and say they're going to reduce the supercharge price increase by 10% globally after they listened to everybody that this is kind of ridiculous. People were definitely thinking it's going to become a profit center for them. So Tesla did actually state that they are not planning on this ever becoming a profit center for them. They want this to be for people that have bought their cars, but not to gain profit from it. But some places like in California, it was 26 cents before per kilowatt hour, and it jumped up to almost 36 cents. So that was definitely a lot, but they did listen to it. But again, this is kind of where it goes back to the referral program. I really think maybe the Model 3s all having the referral code might have kind of killed the supercharger situation.
It's just overloading the supercharger network in certain states, especially California, because that's probably where 50 or more % of Model 3s have been sold, and they're just totally full. And it's one, people should be charging at home if you have that capability, but one way to discourage people from using that free supercharging if they don't absolutely need it is to adjust the price. And as the price goes up, maybe demand will go down.
But also with the price increase, hopefully they're able to build it out more.
Exactly.
Currently, they're almost at 1,500 stations, and that worldwide is almost 12,000 superchargers. So maybe that'll help them build that out.
Yeah, they've done a great job expanding the supercharger network. It did slow down a little bit in the second half of 2018, but they are still adding a lot of new stations all around the country. And I'm thinking that one reason they might have added or increased prices is because we know that version 3 of supercharging is coming out soon. And if supercharging is going to be, 50% faster, maybe
could charge a premium for it.
They can charge for it.
I know that's the biggest kickback I think people get is they don't mind having free supercharging and waiting a little bit longer, but if they have to pay, they would rather it be faster.
Yeah, and we do know that the Model 3 is capable of supercharging faster. Currently, it's limited, like the Model S and the Model X, to 120 kilowatts, but we do know that with the hardware that it has installed, it can go a lot higher.
It actually has much thicker cables than Model S and X too, so even more on point to that.
So again, we know the Model 3 has that functionality, but older cars like the 75D don't. So that might be one reason why we're seeing the 75D has gone away.
Yeah, and so 75D, let's talk about it a little. It was originally introduced in 2016 to get a lower price point, but still a good-sized battery.
Yeah, and actually remember when it first came out, they actually offered it as a 60 kilowatt-hour battery.
Upgradable.
That was software upgradable.
Yeah.
And they did have some price adjustments where it cost a certain amount, and then they kept bringing the price down on how much it cost to get that 60 kilowatt-hour battery upgraded to the full 75. But it was a great deal at the time because it really allowed that lower price entry into the Model S market.
Because now, if you want a base Model S, it increased $18,000 to get to the 100D battery, and Model X increased $15,000. So that's quite a bit bigger of a jump, but could this be because they're trying to get a bigger gap between Model 3 and Model S and X?
Yeah, I don't really think so. I think it's just temporary. I think something is coming to fill that void.
Definitely.
I think, they're trying to probably get rid of all those 75Ds that they have built and that are in inventory, and fill in the rest of the orders that have been taken for those.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that it's probably more, in my opinion, it's more due to that version 3 supercharging, that they're getting ready for that. You're going to need a different level of hardware in the cars to take advantage of that faster supercharging. And so what better way to do it than to eliminate the lower priced one and bring out a newer one. So when Elon did tweet about them getting rid of the 75D, he also answered some questions about whether or not they would be renaming how the batteries. Yeah. Currently the Model S and the Model X, they still have that 100D battery, but and previously they had the 75D. But it looks like they're going to be using the same naming nomenclatures they do with the Model 3 with the long range and mid range and standard range.
Yeah, so I mean, personally, I'm thinking 100D is going to become the minimum.
It's possible.
I'm thinking they're going to bump maybe 120, 125.
That would be nice. I don't know if they're going to go all the way. I could see maybe the 100 being a mid-range. Some people have been talking about maybe an 85 might be coming back.
So kind of bringing that back.
But not the old battery. They would be using, basically the 100D has this new technology they came out with a couple years ago, or into 2016. And that has the full 16 modules. If they use that same technology, same format, and just removed a couple of modules, that would bring it down right about to an 85.
Yeah, okay. So maybe 8,500, 115, 120?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, I guess time will tell.
We'll see.
I guess going into our last topic, they laid off a lot of people. Maybe to be able to put more money to other things, get a profit, but they did actually lay off 7% of their workforce, which averages out to about 3,000 people. If you were affected, we appreciate you, everything you've done for Tesla. I just want to say that. A couple people have reached out to me that were let go, and I just want to say we appreciate everything you've done. I'm pretty sure everybody would say that, even Elon himself. It's not something he wants to do, but unfortunately, with the way Tesla's at right now, they need to watch their costs.
We all know after the press conference they held back at the end of Q3 that they only made a 4% profit, but it was at least they finally made a profit.
Right.
But they're predicting the fourth quarter profit for 2018 will be a little bit less. It's not going to be as big of a profit, so that's one reason they're going to be cutting back.
Elon also cited that they have a lot to look forward to for Model 3, being that they have mid-range that's going to be delivered worldwide by May. They're also going to need to achieve economies of scale required for that standard range Model 3, which is supposed to come in at $35,000. Also being the US's tax credit dropped at the end of 2018 to $3,750, and in July, starting on July 1st through the end of the year, will only be $1,875. So it seems almost like what they did, because they did drop the price of Model S and X and Model 3 by $2,000 to try to make up for that delta. Maybe there'll be some more price drops coming with these.
It's possible we might see that happening again in the beginning of the next quarter, or maybe even in the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, I definitely think that might be coming. I guess it depends what they end up doing with Model S and X.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I think we're going to see a lot of stuff happening in the next month or two.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a busy first quarter for Tesla.
Yeah, it's always busy.
But that's true.
But we think there's a lot of new stuff coming. It's like,
yeah,
perhaps we've touched upon the version 3 of supercharging. We might be finally seeing the Model Y prototype, or Elon signed off on it. We just need to have the unveiling for the Model Y.
Yep. There could be new battery tech.
And as we've touched on, might have that mid-range and standard range Model S and Model X coming out.
What happened to the Tesla pickup?
We haven't.
That's a big one.
We haven't heard much on that.
No, they've been awfully quiet.
So it'd be cool if we got to see that when they did the Model Y as well.
Okay, that's pretty much it for this news session. We just wanted to fill you guys in, kind of give you our take on some of it. But yeah, as always, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean, for helping make all this possible. So many fun things coming, so definitely subscribe if you haven't. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of these. What do you think new battery tech's coming? New supercharging? What you think about the supercharging rates going up? Let us know down there and we can chat. As always though, thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and click here to subscribe, here for some other ones, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.